Hi, I'm Kathy and I'm going to go through some basic steps for building with Pori. The process I'm going to go through consists of 4 simple steps. The first is coming up with an idea. This is completely up to you and what you want to build. Pori gives you so many options. The second is setting up your data in Airtable. And the third is where all the fun is, and that's designing the front-end interface of your app in Pori. And the last step is optional. There's a lot that you can do with just those first 3 steps, but you can use integrations to make your Pori app even more powerful. So let's start with the idea. What will you build? The first thing to consider is what sorts of apps is Pori best suited for. One strength is that it's great at presenting and making searchable information in a database. So this makes Pori awesome for making things like a directory, a marketplace, listings like a job board or events, inventories, galleries, etc., etc. Another strength is that you can create user accounts, which opens up a world of possibilities like creating a membership product or a membership portal or even a course or a program. The next thing to think about is, what are you interested in? What do you want to create? Think about what interests you. What do you care about? Who do you want to help? Another source of ideas is thinking about how you could use Pori to improve how you do things. For example, you could think about what things, so what types of data do you collect or use frequently? What processes do you do regularly? What things annoy you? What do you want to improve? With all those things in mind, if one idea doesn't leap out to you straight away, then do some brainstorming. First, brainstorm as many ideas without judgment as you can for 10 minutes. Then pick your top 5. Once you have that, pick one to start. If later you find you don't like that one anymore, you can just go back and pick another one from your top 5. Once you have your idea, the next step is to set up your Airtable database. If you don't already have one, create an Airtable account. Then identify the data you need. I find it's easiest to do this on a piece of paper first. First, think about the major types of data you're going to be handling. Another way of thinking about this is identifying the things you'll be dealing with. So for a job board, the main things involved could be jobs advertised and applicants for those jobs. Each of these will be a table in Airtable. And for each of those things, you will also want to identify their attributes, also known as fields. These are the columns of the table in Airtable. So for a job, the fields could be position name, company name, URL of the job advertisement. And for an applicant, the fields could be the applicant's name, the applicant's email, a message they may send to you, and a CV. So once you know your basic tables and fields, set them up in Airtable. Note that Airtable lets you choose different types of fields. So if you want to collect a URL, for example, you could set up a field that is specifically set for URLs. And this can be useful later if you use a form, because Airtable will verify that only URLs get entered. Then it's a really good idea to fill up your base with some data. And don't feel that you have to enter all your data to start, but a bit of data will help you test out your Pori design in the next step. If you're relying on user-submitted data, and so you won't have any real data until your app goes live, you can also enter some demo data at the start and then erase it when you're happy with your Pori app's design. Okay, now we come to the fun part, building your app. First up is to create your Pori account, and there's a free 14-day trial of all the features. You'll then be able to choose a template from Pori's gallery. This is the best place to start if you're new to Pori. Otherwise, you can also start from scratch. First of all, you have to connect your Airtable database. And so to do that, you need to go and find your API key, and you can get that at airtable.com/account if you're already logged in. And then all you do is you click on that obscured field and it will actually show you what your API is, and then you just need to copy that into where it guides you in Pori. And if you've chosen one of the templates, Pori will create an app for you, just like magic. Now all you need to do is customize it. You can add pages, and Pori has lots of pre-built, beautiful functional sections that you can add and customize. Once you have the core features of your app designed, you can choose to go even further with integrations. You can do some simple power-ups just working with Airtable alone. For example, Pori lets you embed Airtable's forms, so you can do things like take user submissions. And Pori also lets you work with Airtable's views. There are so many things you can do with just this functionality alone. So you could have a process where people can submit open job positions, and then you can approve or reject them in Airtable with only the approved jobs showing up in the Pori app. First, you'd make a single select field in Airtable, then create a view. Here I've called this approved list that filters for any listing with an approved status. Then in Pori, you can specify that you only want to see entries from that approved list view. But you can be even more creative because Airtable integrates with Zapier, Integromat, and Automate.io, which in turn connect to over 1,000 other apps. So really, the sky's the limit. Pori will also let you add chat functionality through integrations with Drift and Krisp. And I'm sure there's even more things that you can think of if you try out Pori and see what you can come up with. Pori is a really powerful tool, so have fun building.